How's it going, guys? This is Tim from 313, and today we're going to take a look at just uh, part of my football collection. I collected quite a few cards back through the years, and I'm just going to kind of go through and show you some of my best cards that I have. Starting with my Hall of Fame book here, which is what I have in the binder. Then I'll show you a few of my older cards and things like that, just to share them with you and see what you guys think. But we'll start out with Ron Yeri. Like I said, these are all Hall of Fame players. This is a pro action card. I can't remember what year that is from. I'm pretty sure that's 72, I think. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 72, maybe 74. I can pull it out and look. I'm pretty sure it's 72. Of course, it doesn't have anything on there on the back. I need some stats here, people. Anyways, I'm going to set that aside for now. Anyways, let's just go through the book here. This is a Bubba Smith Pro Action card. That's a 71 Ken Houston. Not in too bad a shape. A little bit of wear on the corners on some of these, but most of them are in pretty good shape. In my eyes, I don't really want to grade them. I just like enjoy looking at them and possibly sharing them with my kids one day. But there's Dave Robinson, one heck of a linebacker for the Packers back in the 70s. And there is the Super Bowl game between the Cowboys and the Dolphins. And there's a 71 Floyd Little, who's in the Hall of Fame. Tom Mack, the all-star, all-pro guard for the Rams, who played for many years then, and also a Michigan man. There's Alan Page, 71 card. And we'll go to John Riggins, the old bull. That guy could really plow through the line, no problem. Then we got Claude Humphrey. Sorry about the glare there. There's Claude Humphrey. Jim Otto. That one's a little miscut on the top, but I have several of those Jim Otto 70 cards. Oh, these are newer playoff cards that I put in there. If they're in the Hall of Fame, I put a few of them in there, like John Elway, just to round it out a bit. There's Ray Lewis. There's an Elvin Bethea rookie card. I know those go for about $1,000 if you can get one to grade out at 10, but you see that one's off center a little bit. It's in really good shape, though. There's a 69 no border Bob Lilly, another Hall of Famer. Oh, there's another Elvin Bethea. That one looks like it's got a crease down the center. Let's move on. Let's see if I can get rid of some of this glare. Here, put it up. Get it away. There we go. A little bit better. If I can get rid of that shadow. There's Jan Stenerud. Then move to the other side here. Jackie Smith, who dropped a pretty crucial pass for Dallas in a Super Bowl game. There's Jimmy Johnson, great defensive back for the 49ers. Carl Eller, part of the Purple Gang, 1970 tops. There's Claude Humphrey, 1970, but that one's a little off center there. There's Billy Shaw, just a fantastic guard for the Bills for many years. Mick Tingelhoff, the center for the Vikings. I was a big Vikings fan when I was younger, along with the Lions. Everybody knows by now I'm a Lions fan, unfortunately. Hopefully they can field a team next year. I'm hoping maybe they can get a second or third pick this year. There's Tom Mack, 1970 card. I like those old Rams uniforms there. Paul Krause, before he went to the Vikings, Hall of Famer. These are all Hall of Famers there. There's another Jim Johnson. There's downtown Willie Brown for the Raiders, another Jim Otto. Those are 71s. That's Claude Humphrey, 71. There's a Larry Zonka Pro Action card. I believe that's 72. I think those are 72s. And then we have Paul Krause. That's a 71. And a Jackie Smith, who played with the Cardinals in '71, Hall of Famer. And we have a 1968 Howard Twilley card. He was also a Hall of Famer with the Miami Dolphins. Bob Hayes, 1970 Bob Hayes card. There's a '68 Jackie Smith. And there is Bobby Bell, Hall of Famer from Kansas City. I'm going to quit saying Hall of Famer because these are all Hall of Famers. There's a Roger Staubach Pro Action card. Mel Renfro. You go watch some of the old NFL films with the Cowboys, and you'll see Mel Renfro, number 20, a lot, making some great plays. There's a '68 Bob Hayes. I really like that card. And there's John Brody, Sonny Jurgensen, '68 Sonny Jurgensen. Like I said, I started collecting in right around 1968. All the way up until around 1977. And of course, my mother threw away a lot of my cards when I was young. Of course, we all know that horror story. There's Elvin Bethea, a '73 Topps. There's John Mackey, another great receiver for Johnny Unitas. There's Aeneas Williams, who's in the Hall now. I didn't say Hall of Famer. There's Mick Tingelhoff, again, a '71. Mick Tingelhoff, '73. Jackie Smith, '73 card. Jim Otto. It's 1968 Chris Hanberger. Another great linebacker for the Redskins. Charlie Taylor, a wide receiver. Bobby Mitchell. Another great running back or flanker, which they used to call them. And Ron Mix. That's a '69. It's pretty battered, but I just love those no border '69 cards. They're just really colorful. And there's Alan Page, 1973 card. Ron Mix, 1968 card. And now we got the world champion Green Bay Packers. Herb Adderley, that's a 1968 card. If they were in the Super Bowl, they would have the sideways cards like that. That's Herb Adderley. And there's another Charlie Taylor. The '69 cards, and a Howard Twilley. Like I said, I collect these cards because I just love the hobby, and I love looking at the cards and remembering the old players and watching the old films. And there's Kenny Burrow, number 00. Jim Otto. There's a '73 Floyd Little. And there's Willie Lanier, probably one of the best middle linebackers of all time. Kenny Houston. And there is Leroy Kelly, who's also in the Hall of Fame. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it in the Hall or not. There's Willie Brown. I want to find one of those '73 cards with the backs on them so I can make sure that that's what they are. There's a All-Pro card from '74. I think that's a '75 card, though. That's Ted Hendricks and Phil Volpiano. John Mackey, 1968 card. And Carl Eller. I want to see. I just got to see what year that is. I don't know why I'm having a problem. Sorry about the camera, but I'm having a problem remembering. And I still can't get any kind of stats. They didn't keep sacks, stats, or nothing back then. I need to find an offensive player from that year somewhere. I still think those are 72s. Maybe 73s. But there's a '74 Willie Lanier. And there is Gene Hickerson, who is in the Hall with the Cleveland Browns, a guard, old timer. Here's Jerome Bettis. And we're going to move to the next page. There's another Willie Brown. We got a Joe Namath up here. Another Willie Lanier. And a Jackie Smith. Another Jackie Smith. Leroy Kelly. Claude Humphreys. Jackie Smith. There is another Bobby Bell. with the 1970 Sonny Jurgensen. There's a Randy Moss with the Vikings. And another Carl Eller. Another Ron Yeri. Bob Bell. Jackie Smith. Need to find somebody from that year who has some offensive stats, but I don't see any. There is Jack Ham. I believe that's a 75, or wait, 76, 77 card maybe. There is Dan Fouts. You can find out right now. I'm really confused about the years of these cards sometimes. It's not like baseball. These are 77s here. It's a 77 Dan Fouts. Pretty good looking card, not bad. A little bit of a crease right here, but still a great card to have. And there's a Harry Carson rookie card. I know his rookie card can get up there between $1,400, $1,500 if you got one that's Gem Mint 10 PSA graded. There's a Warren Moon. Steve Largent rookie card, which I wish was in better shape. But there's a Deacon Jones. And we'll move over here to Ray Guy, the great punter for the Raiders. You can just barely see him in the background with his foot up in the air. Ronnie Lott, of course, we know all about him. Roger Worley, the safety for the Cardinals for many years. There's a 74 Jim Otto. Joe Kapp, one of my favorite quarterbacks back in 69 and 70. Just a tough guy, man. And heartbreaking Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs in 69. He just got battered. If you ever want to see a great Super Bowl game, go watch the 69 Minnesota Vikings versus the Chiefs, and you will see one heck of a football game. They did not play the game the way they do nowadays. They played out in the mud, and I'm telling you, it's just great that they have those old films. And there's Eugene Upshaw. Dan Deerdorf, you may hear his commentary on a lot of the stuff. He's in the hall. There's played with the Cardinals. That's a 74. Now we get into a Jerry Rice. There's a 1990. There's a Jim Kelly impact card. Got some newer stuff here. Old Pro Set Thurman Thomas. Some of the junk wax era here. There's Jerry Rice. Steve Young. Barry Sanders. Photo of the year. And we got an Emmett Smith. There's a Dan Fouts Archives card. Lawrence Taylor. Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas, card number 1 there. There's Terry Bradshaw. Getting into some of the newer cards here. There's a couple of Kurt Warners from Archives. These are, like I said, I just put this binder together. There's a Steve Young, Tony Gonzalez, Jerry Rice 1,000-Yard Club, Roger Craig. Getting the glare, sorry. There's Art Monk, Jerry Rice, Andre Reed, Kurt Warner, Roger Craig, Kurt Warner. You can still find a lot of these cards out there now, still. They're not hard to obtain and for pretty cheap. There's Michael Strahan, Thurman Thomas, Mean Joe Green, a Steve Young starting lineup card, Rod Woodson, another Kurt Warner milestone card, John Elway, Brian Urlacher, that's Randy Moss with the Patriots, Brett Favre with the Vikings, Randy Moss with the 49ers. And now we get some playoff cards from this year. There's Joe Thomas, Tony Gonzalez with the Chiefs, Roger Staubach, Eddie George, Peyton Manning, Tony Gonzalez, again with the Falcons there. There's Jim Kelly, Mike Singletary, Steve Atwater, Eric Dickerson, Tony Dorsett with the Broncos, and there's Elway handing off to Dorsett there. I always like the action cards. There's Earl Campbell. Ed Reed, Marcus Allen, Terry Bradshaw, Brett Favre, Jerry Rice, Derek Brooks, Joe Thomas, Kurt Warner, Brett Favre, Eric Dickerson, Marshall Faulk, and we'll round it out on the back with the Warren Sapp, Tony Gonzalez with the Chiefs again, Ed Reed, Mike Singletary, Bettis, and Edgerrin James. Now we're going to take a look at some of my cards that I have in the holders. And then I'm going to just show you some of my older cards first that I really like is Paul Miller from the Dallas Texans. Look at those old uniforms from 1961. And you've got a Joe Marconi from 1963 with the Bears in a Rams uniform, looks like, or Chargers or something. There's Don Floyd from the Houston Oilers from 1966. A Joe Krupa, a 1959 Joe Krupa card, which is pretty tough shape, but we'll take it. And there's Bill George, Hall of Famer from 1963, Chicago Bears linebacker. These guys look like they've just been through it all, man. That flat top haircut. There's a Nick Bonacani rookie card, which is in really surprisingly really decent shape. Just a little off center. And then we have Hugh McElhenney, who was a great running back. And that's when he was with the Vikings there, and from 1963. Jimmy Orr was Johnny Unitas and Earl Morrall's. I think more Unitas than Earl Morrall, but Jimmy Orr was quite the receiver. Scored a lot of touchdowns. Then you have another Joe Marconi from the Bears. Then we get into a 74 Norm Snead. The reason these are in holders is because they are in excellent, excellent shape. And I was thinking about sending them into PSA. I mean, these look and feel like they just came out of a pack. There's a Chuck Foreman rookie card, which is in really good shape too. There's a Claude Humphrey. There, we got some stats. Yeah, these are 72s. That's what I thought. So I was right. 1972. That one's in really good shape and very nicely centered. Another one here, Buck Buchanan. I thought about sending that in, but it's a little bit heavy on the top. But what a great defense the Chiefs had. And they got a Super Bowl out of it too in 69. Randy Vataha, and that card is just really, really, really nice for a 1972 card. And this 1970 Matt Snell, the same. The reason I like these cards so much is they're so nostalgic to me because I used to watch them as a kid, and football was just so different to me back then watching the games. It was just so raw, and the game has changed a lot since then. So there's a 72 leader card with Fred Biletnikoff, Otis Taylor, Randy Vataha, who actually was among the leaders in his rookie year there. There's George Blanda, Hall of Famer. That card's in really good shape too. Mike Phipps, quarterback for the Browns. I always kind of liked watching the Browns too. There's an old 63 Joe Fortunato, linebacker for the Bears. There's a 74 Archie Manning. Of course, the father to the Mannings, Peyton and Eli. There's an O.J. Simpson from 1976. Whoops. Almost lost the camera there. Sorry about that. That's what the cards look like on the back there. All his stats there. AFL. 2,003 yards in 1973. But 1,000 yards 4 straight years in a row. When he first came to the Bills, they were a pretty rough team. There's Franco Harris, 77. There's a rookie card of Ed Too Tall Jones from 1976. Now we have a 1970 Lenny Dawson. That's in really good shape. 73 Kenny Anderson. I believe that's his rookie card. Another Chuck Foreman rookie card. That's in really good shape. And Troy Aikman is one of those pop-out stand-up try cards or whatever they call them. Fold-back cards. But I just thought that was cool. And, oh, here's one of my autos that I pulled, a Stumpy Mitchell autograph. I don't know why that's stuck in there. There's a laser cut gold Peyton Manning card. I thought was pretty neat. Here's a Bob Greasy. Really good shape. Looks like there's a hair or something in there. There we go. Bob Greasy. And we can grab a few more. Then I'll show you some of the good pulls that came out of the playoff box that I bought. But there's Roman Gabriel. What year are these? These are the 72s again. They got the sideways cards they're going. There's a John Riggins rookie card. Just a little rough on the corners there, but pretty nice card to have. There's a Fran Tarkenton with the Giants from 1970. That's a really nice card. Alan Page rookie card. Just off center. A Bubba Smith rookie card, which is in excellent shape and a very well centered. I was thinking about sending that one in. A Lance Rensel, which is in just beautiful shape. Here's Bob Berry, another one that's in really good shape from 1970. The reason he's in there, I know he wasn't really a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I remember watching him play with the Falcons for a lot, and I know who Bob Berry is. And now we're getting into the 72 Dan Abramowitz. The card's in great shape. A 74 Bob Hayes. And we got a 1970 Leroy Kelly. 1974 Billy Kilmer. That card's just in great shape. I like the action cards like that. Just no logo on the helmet though. Now we get into some of these Topps Platinums. That's a Eli Manning. You can tell I like the older cards. There's one of those fold back Andrew Luck. Let me reset this thing here. It's slipping out of my hand. There's a Peyton Manning mini card. Back when the inserts were all the rage. There's a Donovan McNabb. I don't know why that sticker's on there. Just the holder. Robert Griffin III. Still a backup quarterback in the NFL. And we got DeAndre Hopkins. Awesome wide receiver. Having a pretty nice career. There's a Donovan McNabb laser cut card. There's a rookie card of Matthew Stafford. Some of the hit cards. Shows the college cards. There's a Le'Veon Bell rookie card from Topps. There's a gold for Russell Wilson. I like that card. I like, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. Doesn't have the legs like he used to, but it's not bad. Now we'll look at some of the hits that I pulled this year out of the playoff football. There's Paris Campbell rookie patch, rookie Stallions. That was pretty sweet. And then we got a Turning Pro patch from Will Greer. Hopefully his career is going to amount to something. I got a couple Nick Bosa rookies. In great shape. I pulled 3 Dwayne Haskins rookies. Dwayne Haskins, the Ohio State quarterback. And one of them happens to be a parallel emerald card, which gives it a bit of a boost on the premium there. But that's his rookie card. He had a good rookie crop this year. That's why I decided to get into some football. There's a Dwayne Haskins Air Command, those are really nice cards. That was a nice card. I was happy to pull that. Also, to Jimmy Garoppolo. Those are really good insert cards. They did a nice job on those. And also, I pulled the Patrick Mahomes second Air Command card. And also a Ben Roethlisberger. This could possibly be his final season. I don't know if he'll come back next year or not, but I think he should pack it in. There's Russell Wilson. There's a Drew Lock. We watched play yesterday against the Lions, and of course the Lions lost. And now we got into another pretty good rookie quarterback in Gardner Minshew the second, playing for the Jags. I pulled a couple of his rookies. And here I'm going to save the best for last, because I basically bought these because I really like the rookie wave cards. I like the design of them. But there's a Josh Jacobs, and they're quite shiny and pretty good looking. And I just like the design, and I wanted a Kyler Murray so bad. And I said, I'll keep getting them until I get a Kyler Murray. And luckily, I didn't have to buy too many. But there's a Jalen Hurd. There's a Darrell Henderson. N'Keal Harry. So we're going to get this to focus better. There we go. A Damian Harris from the Patriots, rookie. Miles Sanders. Hopefully these guys pan out really well. Some of them have already. A JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He's having a pretty decent year. And I got him the Kyler Murray rookie wave card, which is, I'm so glad, because I really don't want to buy any more football. Baseball is really my favorite sport. I like the older football cards. That's why I still buy collections. And I buy the older collections of hockey cards. But I will get football cards just to get some of the rookies. And then they have these stargazing cards, which have different players like Alvin Kamara, Ezekiel Elliott, stargazing card. Those are pretty sharp cards. Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, one of my favorite quarterbacks. Pulled a Darius Leonard, DeAndre Hopkins. I was glad to get that card. I think he's awesome. And then you got the Myles Garrett. Got suspended. We don't need to go there, but there's Baker Mayfield. Stargazing card. That's pretty cool. And the stargazing Aaron Rodgers. And it's always a good card to get. You know he's going to the Hall. A great quarterback for the Packers, who I don't really care for. They've been a bane to the Lions for years. There's Chandler Jones, these Thunder and Lightning insert cards, which feature two players, Patrick Peterson, Chandler Jones. But this was the nice one that I pulled here with Patrick Mahomes. If I can get it to focus, Damian Williams. That was a nice Thunder and Lightning insert, probably the best one. And then you got Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Thunder and Lightning card. And got quite a few of them. Derrick Henry, Corey Davis from the Texans. Ben Roethlisberger and Juju. Juju Smith. Really hard to read, so I wish they would not emboss in silver. They're just almost impossible. But that's Smith-Schuster. And let's go with one more Thunder and Lightning, which is from the Rams, which is Aaron Donald and Marcus Peters. But good-looking subset inserts this year for the playoff cards. And now we get into the contenders, which I pulled the Terry McLaurin, who's having a pretty good year for Redskins. And then you have Tom Brady, MVP contenders. Insert cards. Aaron Rodgers, winning ticket. Drew Brees, winning ticket. Josh Jacobs, rookie contenders. JJ, Arcade Whiteside, rookie contenders. And then I got some of these red zone cards, which I pulled to Patrick Mahomes, which is pretty awesome. They got the red embossing on them, which makes them a parallel. And there's the regular Patrick Mahomes, which is supposed to be silver. I pulled, now these are some of the rookies that I put aside, put in holders, which is Devin Bush, the Michigan man. A couple of those. A Baker Mayfield. A Ryan Finley. He's getting a lot of playing time this year, rookie card. And then we have an Emerald Kickoff, Josh Jacobs, rookie card, which is nice parallel to have there. And the Emerald Rookie of the Year contenders, Josh Jacobs, which is pretty nice too. And Preston Williams, Rookie of the Year contenders. Marquise Brown, Rookie of the Year contender. Now these are playoff contenders, and there's Aaron Rodgers, MVP contender, just like Tom Brady. Got the Baker Mayfield. And finally, we got our Raiders round numbers. That's their first and second round picks, or first round picks, or however they want to do it. But again, the silver embossing, you can't read. You just can't read them. But it's Cleveland Farrell and Jonathan Abram. That's what really turns me off about football cards, is the silver embossing, because you just cannot read. You got to catch the light just right just to be able. And there's a Dalvin Cook, which I put away, which I thought was cool. Anyways, that's enough for now. But that's a little bit of my football collection. I do have some really hot rookie cards that I have put away, actually, in my vault, like a Joe Montana rookie card, Alvin Bethea, other than the ones I showed you. Some really good examples that I put away, but I do not bring them out to see the light too often. But this is what I hit on so far this year on as far as pretty decent cards out of the playoff set and a little bit of the contenders. And you got to look at a few of my older cards, which is always fun to look at. I've got binders upon binders of more older cards, mostly from the 60s and 70s, which are pretty cool. But that's all for now. This is Tim. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of my collection and talking a little bit of football. But we'll see you again next time, and y'all have a great holiday season, and we will see you next time. This is 313 Collections. This is Tim. Good night, everybody.